Spider-Noir is not the hero you know. He literally drops bodies, loses his powers mid-fight, and the new trailer just revealed that his origin might stem from some bizarre disease. We're breaking down every single detail of Spider-Noir right now. Alright, this new trailer really pokes at Spider-Noir's old wounds. He used to be a hero, and his friend, Robbie Robertson, knows it. He goes straight to Ben Reilly to tell him the city is in absolute chaos and that the Spider needs to make a comeback. Visually, this scene delivers pure noir aesthetics, showing us a completely broken Ben Reilly. Back in the day, he was probably peak Spider-Man, putting in the work and taking down tons of criminals. But now, Ben Reilly makes it a point to say he knows exactly who he used to be, and right now, he's just a detective. He goes back to the cemetery, and we finally understand that what made him hang up the suit was someone's death, most likely his wife, Ruby. Another cool thing is that Ben doesn't even see himself as a hero, which might connect to his past as a soldier. There's even a shot of him in a hallway, probably right after getting bitten.
What's great about this trailer is that it shows the plot chronologically, instead of just a bunch of random, chopped-up scenes. At the start, he's retired. Maybe he even changed his name to Ben Reilly to go off the grid, which makes sense, given the producers mentioned his name would be part of the show's mystery. But that past is definitely catching up to him. If you're the type who spots the details nobody else sees, and you take comic book lore seriously, you're in the right place. Comic Chronicles is our headquarters. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our breakdown of all 8 episodes tomorrow, and help grow our community.
The case of Sandman and Felicia Hardy. The earlier trailers dropped some hints, but now we know what the main case of the series is. It all kicks off with Sandman. Felicia "Cat" Hardy comes into Ben Reilly's office to hire him for a job, to find a friend of hers who went missing. Based on the previous trailers, I was confused. Wait, how is he missing if we literally see him right there as Sandman? Even if he had turned into a villain, she'd know about it. But now it clicks. That scene of Spider-Noir being thrown off a building by Sandman isn't just a generic fight. In reality, Sandman is likely just the tip of the iceberg. The Spider goes looking for the missing guy, only to discover he transformed into Sandman. Janet even comments on Felicia's friend turning into a pile of sand. This heavily reminds me of the 2025 Spider-Man Noir comic run, that storyline where Gwen Stacy walks into the Spider's office to investigate who killed her dad. Later, Peter discovers her dad was actually a thug who died in a fight and was resurrected with superpowers. The coolest part is that the dynamic of Peter wanting to hide the truth from Gwen is totally going to play out in the show. The Spider will find out the missing guy became Sandman, but he won't want to tell Felicia. Is the show going down this road of goons being brought back in experiments to gain powers? You can tell Sandman is just the beginning. I think there's a much bigger mystery surrounding Ben Reilly's days as a soldier, the death of his wife Ruby, and the origin of powers in this universe, an overarching plot that will apply to all the other villains.
By the way, that 2025 comic I mentioned and the classic noir runs are absolute must-reads if you want to catch all the Easter eggs in the show. I left links to those issues and some insane noir collectibles down in the description, and on the channel storefront. It's the best way to deck out your shelves and support what we do here. It's highly possible the powers came from a wartime experiment, either to save lives or create super soldiers. I don't think they're going to use the spider god Anansi or anything mystical. Given Sony's live-action track record, they'll probably double down on the sci-fi element and leave the mysticism completely out of it. Tombstone shows up in the trailer talking about a sort of disease that starts and escalates quickly, consuming people alive. While he's talking, we see Sandman on the ground, shaking and suffering through the transformation. We have 2 possibilities here. Either the power is a refuge for the sick, or the disease itself is what mutates them into monsters. It's pure body horror. There's a clear time jump, a gap in the series. We see a short-haired Tombstone in a suit working for Silvermane in the present day, but also scenes of him with long hair talking about the disease and fighting cops in the past. So far, we've seen 4 of Silvermane's enforcers: Tombstone, Sandman, Megawatt, and someone who looks exactly like Molten Man. Molten Man hasn't been on screen much, maybe because he's busy burning down Silvermane's house, which led to Sandman taking his spot on the crew. This makes sense because his disappearance is recent, which is why Felicia is missing him. And when Tombstone says the disease consumes its victims, they show Molten Man catching fire. Does he lose control of his powers and die? Every single one of these goons is physically disfigured. Tombstone is covered in skin nodules, Sandman is mutated into sand, and Megawatt is heavily scarred. In Molten Man's case, if he can't put out his own fire, his superpower just became a curse.
It's a highly welcome touch of body horror in the show. Molten Man could be the next clue in the investigation. Where are these monsters coming from, and who is creating them? If this darker, more visceral vibe is exactly what you were hoping to see, smash that like button so I know you also want to see a totally badass, no-nonsense Spider-Noir.
These super-powered guys are helping Silvermane take over the city, and the Spider is being pressured by everyone around him to step up and put an end to them. But here is the crazy twist. There are times when the Spider's powers just straight up fail. He's gonna have to go into a brutal 1v1 without powers, relying strictly on guns and classic old-school combat. That's where his brilliant line comes in. No powers, no responsibility. The show is making it crystal clear that Spider-Noir is not the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man we all know. He's not just locking bad guys up, bro. He's putting them in the ground. This completely flips the character's traditional ethics on its head, and honestly, Nicolas Cage is the only person who could pull off that kind of beautiful madness. For anyone who's skeptical, thinking there won't be enough hero action or that the plot will drag out, relax. Based on the trailer, the show has a rock-solid narrative, tons of action sequences, and an incredibly dope storyline. I don't know if it'll have a happy ending, but Nicolas Cage is absolutely going to crush this role. The man is a legend.
Multiverse, Secret Wars, or Doomsday? So are you guys excited for this brand new Spider-Man universe? Do you think Spider-Noir is going to show up in Avengers Secret Wars or Doomsday? Marvel knows no bounds, so it's completely on the table. Imagine him showing up in Battleworld, even if it's just for some quick fan service. I mean, come on. Spider-Noir literally ended up in the comic book multiverse just from fighting Mysterio on a random Tuesday. If this series ends with him getting recruited by the other Spider heroes, man, the hype would be so massive that Marvel and Sony would make a literal mountain of cash. But hey, that's theory talk for future videos. What really matters is that Sony and Marvel seem to be treating this universe with the weight it deserves. Tomorrow, on the 27th, we finally get to see Spider-Noir in action, with all 8 episodes dropping at once. I'm gonna binge watch the whole thing to bring you a full breakdown of every detail and that potential multiversal hook that could completely blow our minds. So get ready. But before I go, I want to hear from you guys. Does this more grounded, sci-fi driven Spider-Man work for you? Or do you absolutely need the mystical side from the comics? Let me know in the comments below. Let's debate this new era. If you enjoyed this breakdown, your like and subscription are what keep Comic Chronicles growing. We're in this together. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace out.